What is something perfectly legal that feels illegal? Trying to lockpick my own house cause I can't find my key. I'm a landlord and have had to break into my own properties many times. Only once were the cops called. My little brother is a type of guy to crack open a Gatorade to quench his thirst, browse around the store, and then check out the empty Gatorade bottle at the end. My mom did that with ice cream when we were kids, so we'd have our sweets and shut up about wanting anything else. She'd place the empty wraps on the belt for checkout. Cashiers never had a problem with it, as long as the barcode was intact and some other parents actually liked the idea. Ice cream equals best pacifier in a store full of sweets. Taking many napkins from a cafe/restaurant and pocketing them to use as tissues. Pro tip, Starbucks and Chipotle have the best ones. McDonald's can be rough on the nose. My husband is obsessed with the high quality of the Chipotle forks. He keeps a bunch in his car for fork emergencies. Going through a metal detector always gives me anxiety, even though I usually have nothing to hide. Taking more than one free sample. I always make sure to bring my fake mustache and hat. Taking a free sample of food when walking past a food vendor. Obviously they're offering it for free and obviously there are no laws being broken, but I just cannot help but feel guilty, so I stand there after eating said sample and pretend to deliberate if I plan to purchase a meal there or not before slowly walking away once I've lost the attention of the guy handing out the samples. Walking through nothing to declare at the airport and having a nagging concern that just maybe you managed to pack 5 kilos of cocaine, a handgun, several tons of pest-infested fruit and 2,000 cigarettes over the tobacco limit. Going into a store to use the restroom without buying anything. Oh man, the other day I was experiencing a #2 emergency, so I went into this little grocery store but couldn't see the bathroom. So I asked the customer service person and she tells me it's over in the dairy section. Keep in mind, that is the opposite corner of the store, so I'm speed walking as fast as I can hoping to not poop my pants, and then I hear her on the intercom customer service to dairy, and I'm like what the duck? I just talked to customer service, why are you sending another one over there? And then I get there and I'm trying to open the door and this young kid comes and says yeah I just gotta unlock that for you. So I'm standing there trying not to let this poop run down my leg before I get to my final destination. F***ing awful. Having something of yours in your pocket while in a store that also sells that thing feels the same as walking into a store and then leaving without buying anything. No, seriously, I was just checking my checking account balance on your ATM. I'm not stealing anything. I sometimes feel that guilt when I walk into a store, especially if it's a small family-run business. I walk around looking at all the cool things, but either nothing really calls to me or I can't afford the things that do. So I feel guilty as I walk out as I did really enjoy browsing the store, but they got nothing for that enjoyment. I need to get over myself. Filling out government forms. I answer honestly, but constantly feel like I'm going to misinterpret a question and somehow commit some manner of bureaucratic felony. Edit. Damn. Thanks for the upvotes and the metal. Mysterious benefactors are the capture effect, where things you've understood implicitly and without error all your life suddenly become the world's most difficult questions. Does that count as a sign? Are those street lights? Does that count as a car? Bringing home a newborn infant. Edit. First gold. Thanks, stranger. I still can't believe they do that at the hospital. Okay, here's the human. Off you go. True story. My first child was a C-section baby. Lots of build up leading to the surgery. Surgery goes fine. After all the basic checks, they wheel my wife off to recovery, swaddle my son, and put him in the bassinet cart. All the medical staff moved on to their next thing, and left me standing there with him. I actually stammered to a nurse, "UHH, what do I do now?" I remember this feeling as a new mom, when I was in the elevator on my way out of the hospital bringing my baby home. That's it? They're just going to let me take her home? It was weird. Driving when near a cop. Everyone in front of me feels the same way. Speed limit of 80. Everyone cruising at 85. Cop passes lights off. Everyone shows down to 75. I've had cops tell me they can't stand that. They want to go places too and everyone around them starts driving 10 under. Joining a cult. Starting a cult. Stockpiling firearms as a cult. Cannibalism. If I'm not mistaken, you are not. In the US you can consume someone's flesh as long as they consent. Reading most/all of a book in a bookstore and then putting it back on the shelf. When I owned a used bookstore I had several reading nooks with side tables, lamps, and big comfy chairs just for this. Having a tank as your personal vehicle. Just buy one with a credit card. Don't worry about paying it off. They won't go after someone with a tank. Nobody will. Ripping off a few bananas before you buy them from the grocery store if you don't want the whole bundle. For the longest time I did not even know you could do that. I saw my mom do it once and I'm like, wait, you can do that? Going into Costco, eating all the free samples, then walking out. There are people at my Costco that show up specifically for that. I really wouldn't have a problem with them, but they wait for 10 ducking minutes at each sample station and stand in the middle of the aisle, not allowing me to move around them. That's when it gets annoying. I never go on sample days. I know I'll just freak out one of these days at someone waiting 10 minutes in the middle of an aisle for a Dixie cup of Cheez-Its. I go when they first open middle of the week and I usually avoid the sample nightmare. Every day is a sample day at Costco. They run 2 to 3 shifts daily, just more on the weekend. Walk into an Ulta Beauty store and spraying some expensive cologne from the tester bottle before going to your interview. Update: no, I don't overdo it. I like light smells. Too heavy and I get a headache as well. Something that's fresh because I want to feel like a new car going into an interview or a date or wherever I have that's somewhat important or gives a good first impression. I once went into Ulta and left with a full face of makeup from trying new things. I didn't buy anything and probably would have felt guilty, but I was tipsy. Adjusting your penis when it gets scrunched up against your inner thigh on an airplane. Calling a teacher by their first name. Like it's not illegal but it's illegal. Accidentally calling a teacher mom or dad. That shit's illegal fam. It's not illegal, but it will go on your permanent record. Driving 250 plus km/h on the German autobahn. Especially when crossing the border from another country and you can drive so much faster that you're used to from the country you made holiday in. This isn't my original idea, but going through customs at the airport you always feel like you've done something wrong. Like, what if I accidentally have a gun? I don't even own a gun, but what if I accidentally have a gun? How would I explain that? Is this pen I packed on the list of banned items? What if it is? What if I accidentally brought a knife? What if I accidentally have fireworks? Marrying someone for their money, then divorcing them, and taking almost everything. I don't love you anymore, give me half your stuff.
N.
This is the most succinct way I have ever heard of describing what happens. Thank you. Doing anything but in sight of a police car. The postal police parked right in front of me the other day as I was sitting in my car browsing Reddit, and immediately I thought, shit, did I commit mail fraud and not even know it? Turning the light on inside the car when you're driving. I called my mom out when I realized recently it's not illegal. You lied to me. You know what this woman says. Are you sure? My mom always told me it was illegal. 53 years my mother believed her mother's lie and passed it on to her kids. 53 years. This seems like exactly the kind of thing that led to Aboriginal peoples developing rituals to bathe in mud or bury the dead or something. Centuries from now we'll turn out the lights in our starships because it's illegal to blot out the stars. Connecting Lego flat pieces sideways. Walking out from a shop without buying anything. As a secondary to this, walking out of an Apple store having purchased something but never having interacted with a store employee the entire time. Walk in, grab accessory off shelf, scan with phone app, pay in app, leave. So what's stopping someone from just going in, picking something up, pretending to use the app, then walking out with it? Drinking a beer on the street in New Orleans. I actually find it weird that drinking alcohol on the street is illegal. Taking somebody else's full cart of food at the grocery store. You can literally take anything from anybody's cart before paying. The Yellowstone Zone of Death is the name given to the 50 square Michigan 129 50 km to Idaho section of Yellowstone National Park, in which, as a result of a loophole in the Constitution of the United States, a criminal could theoretically get away with any crime, up to and including murder. Wikipedia. When someone orders a pizza for a group and you take the last slice. Buying alcohol for the first time when you turn 21. Using a VPN. Maybe not illegal exactly, but I definitely feel a little shady about it.